Fellas, what's good? We're back with another, and it's gonna be an all upper body day today. Today's actually currently a Sunday, and if you know Synergy, on a Sunday it closes at 12, so it's gonna be an early morning lift. So it's gonna be a good one. But what a way to round off my birthday weekend with a beautiful all upper body lift. You know, the one thing I will say also too is I'm also moving my lifts up this week because this next weekend I'm going on a skiing trip. So hey, you wanna know what? We're gonna be going from Sunday to Thursday instead of Monday to Friday. But you wanna know what? I actually like that because these Sunday lifts, no one's in the gym, no one's there, no one wants to be here on a Sunday. You know what I mean? So to get in there when no one's there and then have just like a chill Sunday in the gym, it's pretty nice. You know what I mean? But either way, fellas, it's gonna be a good one. I guess we can consider this my B-day lift. My birthday was actually on Friday. 23, here we are now. Just getting older after 21. But you wanna know what? We still got many more years in our prime until our prime. You know what I mean? So either way, fellas, I'll catch you guys on the flip for this lift. Let's get it.
Alright, fellas, so what we got coming in here, a nice little 185, feeling that good stretch across the chest. Everything, especially when I get it down to like what I would call a low weight, like 185. Realistically, I like the bully 225. But when you're scaling it back to bodybuilding and doing this 185, like, as long as you keep a little bit of time under tension and just don't explode right up and out, throw the weight around, you're going to probably see the same amount of gains almost. Just, you're not taking the big toll on all your joints. That's one thing I've always known, but hey, being young, dumb, and a little ignorant, you can get away with some of that shit, But, as I've been doing it for so long, you start to see little signs come up. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, now it's time to take this a little bit more serious. Especially having a warm up. Like 185. I mean, to get to this 225. And then just throw it around for a few reps. That's what you need to do. Is just start off a little light. But then even then, I take it a step back and I go back to that 185 because I felt a good stretch at the 225, but after I topped out at 8, I was good. I didn't want to push no more because then I'm going to start compromising things. So I pushed back down to 185. Realistically, I could bully out 2 more reps too for 225, but is it really worth it? I don't know. But either way, I'd rather come here and bully out 185 for more reps and feel that nice stretch that I've been feeling across my chest, because to be honest, I feel like my chest is my biggest struggle when it comes to like building, because I engage my back very easily, engage my biceps, triceps. For some reason, I have trouble engaging my chest, I feel like, for some reason. Either way, we come here, we got the chest flies, 3 sets with 10 reps, and then a 10-second hold at the end. I know I've been saying for the longest time I want to do 10-second hold at the beginning, but, maybe someday I'll turn over a new leaf on that. We've been working on bigger stuff, you know what I mean? Either way, though, here we are with 3 sets, 12 reps with the tricep push downs, and that's the thing, like, in this too, like, look at my chest. That's all I can say. Like, in this workout, I was feeling great mind-muscle connection, and that's the thing. Since we've scaled it back to bodybuilding, I've been feeling that chest get stretched and feel good. But like when I was powerlifting, I felt like my chest was not engaging right. So I feel like coming back to bodybuilding, I have some things to work on. Not anything crazy, but like I have focuses. Especially for here, we got our lat pull down, 3 sets, 10 reps, pretty straightforward, easy going. For our all back day, our all upper body day, my chest, like I said, has not been a problem. That's why I emphasize, especially early on in my all upper body days, doing my chest. So I make sure I do it with all my energy and all my focus before I get tired and, burnt and, necessarily just want to not throw weight, but like sometimes you just got to put it up, that feeling. regardless, here we are with the shoulder press. 3 sets, 10 reps. You know, especially now that we're back into bodybuilding, everything's trying to be 10 to 12 reps, no matter what. I want to stay, like, even though I did 225 for 8 earlier, that was, whatever. That was the one that slid, but, going forward, it's always going to be 10s and 12s that I want. And then over here, we got our abductor pulls here, 3 sets, 10 reps, or lat pulls, whatever. I honestly still don't know what to call that one. Then we got our hammer curls here, 3 sets, 10 and 10 each reps. I won't lie, just as of recently, probably in the past month or so, I have went away from doing normal curls just because my wrists were starting to bother me with the twists and stuff like that. And I think over time it's good just to, alternate between hammer curls and, regular curls. I mean, and obviously they hit your bicep a little different, but, I will say at least this one might, when you're doing hammer curls, you're in a neutral grip. As you can see, looking good, looking great. Can't complain here. That's the one thing. I'm bulked up. You can tell I'm a little beefy and round around the edges, but like everything is still popping. And I'll be honest, fellas, I haven't, I was doing core with legs, especially during the cut. I haven't hit my core probably since the fall. We're almost halfway through winter now, and like my core is still looking good. Like, obviously you use your core to brace for everything, but like the fact that it's still popping like that has me kind of like, oh dang, okay, But by any means, that reminds me I probably should start doing my core workouts again, right there. But, for the most part, fellas, looking good, looking great. Like I said, just a little beefed up, but still somehow looking lean.
And that's a wrap on today's lift, fellas. What a good one, what a great one. Feeling good, feeling great. It's the day after, as you can tell, I got a little bit of bedhead. I forgot to shoot the outro, but hey, it'd be what it be. A hard lift like that. It has you, feeling so good. Sometimes you forget a few things, and maybe a little exhausted as well. But you want to know what? I'm definitely feeling it. But as far as the look goes, starting to bulk up a little bit. I mean, I'm looking very good, like freakishly lean, but like I've been eating like a fiend, like food is crack. And like, regardless, like I've just been pushing food. I mean, unemployed, sitting at home bodybuilding, like what am I going to do? I mean, all I can do is eat. It's like, in a sense, it's almost like, the best thing, like, now I can just bulk and like not have to worry about, working and like, all that stuff. But like, hey, look at it out here. It's still all snowy. So like, and that's when I'll be wanting to work in. I'm all for this layoff for a little while, Hopefully we be chilling and stuff. But regardless, fellas, we aren't never actually chilling. We just chilling in the bodybuilding sense. Here we are, back and better. I feel. I always feel like I'm coming back from something. I don't know. Regardless, it's that underdog fight, I feel. But either way, fellas, I hope you guys enjoyed today's great lift. Like I, been saying for the longest time, I've been ready to scale back and get back into bodybuilding and get away from this powerlifting and stuff. So, I've really been focusing on, that mind-muscle connection, not so much pushing just weight, so that's been feeling good. My body's been feeling a lot better too. And, I'm seeing a lot of, great things with myself too as well. But either way, fellas, I hope you guys stick around. Please leave a like, subscribe. I appreciate that. And, as always, stay hustling, stay grinding, stay focused. Peace out. I'll see you guys in the next one.